Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first video on the That Tech Company website. This video is going to basically show you how to set up your new server for Ruby on Rails, or at least the way I'm going to do it. We're going to do it here. Now, first of all, I'm going to show you real quick what I've got in terms of a server. It's the Core 2 Quad Q6600, which is one quad-core processor, 8 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of hard drive, and 5 terabytes of bandwidth. Not bad for $94.99 per month. Actually, I'm already logged in here, and if you do free-m, you can see 7903 available. It's running Debian Linux 6, and we are unstable, and I'm not going to be changing from that. The way I'm going to set this video up is I'm going to split it up into each section and give you sort of a little text saying what the section is. So let's get on with it, and we'll start with Ruby. Okay, for Ruby, excuse me, pardon. For Ruby, we're going to use Ruby Enterprise Edition. Now, I'm going to caveat this, okay? There's specific reasons I'm using Ruby Enterprise Edition. The thing is, Ruby Enterprise Edition is sort of being deprecated. As of this moment, it supports 1.8.7 Ruby, and it is written very carefully against the specs of 1.8.7 Ruby. The reason I add this as a caveat is when Rails 4.0 comes out, if you are going to do Rails, it requires 1.9 or greater. So you're not going to be able to use Ruby Enterprise Edition for Rails 4. Hopefully by that time Rails 2 or Ruby 2.0 will be out and will alleviate the need for this, but basically what I'm most interested about is this right here. A copy and write friendly garbage collector. It is a better garbage collector than what's available in what is called MRI or Match Ruby implementation. So that's why I'm using it. So to install that, you go to download. We're going to go ahead and copy this address. And what we want to see is, do we have wget? Yes, we do. So let's let's make directory source and wget that and tar zxvf that. Change directory into that. Now we can run sudo /installer. So this will tell us, oh, we need to install some stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. We need build essential, zlib1g dev, libssl dev. As I said, it'll tell you what you need. libreadline 5 dev, and that's it. So we're going to go ahead and grab those, which shouldn't take too long on the 100 megabits per second connection out. Okay, so now we can run that command again. And actually, we're going to put this into user local. We're just going to put it inside user local, because this is going to be the only Ruby on the development box. So now what this is going to do is it's going to go through and configure it. It's going to build it, and it's going to install it. So I'm going to pause it until it's done installing. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we have it. We it finished its install, and it does all the install, the setup, does everything for you. If we look at our Ruby version, we're at Ruby 1.8.7. If we look at which Ruby it's in, user local bin Ruby. If we do a gem list, we can see it basically installed Rails at the latest version. It installed, well, Bundler because that came along with Rails, and it installed Passenger. That's going to be taken out eventually, but for the moment, that's fine. So right now, we have a working Ruby, and if we go like that, and we say which Ruby, it's fine. So it's seen both on your root and on your user. So there's setting up Ruby. Couldn't be much simpler, to be honest with you. That's what's kind of nice about Ruby Enterprise Edition. So the next thing we're going to set up is the database, and I will be right back, and we'll get started on that. Okay, welcome back. We're going to be installing the database. And originally, I know I was saying earlier that we're going to do Maria, but I've decided that what we're actually going to do is we're going to use Postgres 9. So I've got some stuff open here because I don't do this often. But so the first thing we want to do is we want to add backports. So what we want to do is we want to sudo vim sources.list.d, and we'll call this backports.list. Sudo vi sources backports.list. And we're going to go ahead and insert, paste, and sudo apt-get update. And we also want to grab libpqdev. Let's see, the following extras of packages will be installed. Yeah, it's grabbing them from the okay, let's see. Alright, we've got it running. Now, it should it should theoretically it should theoretically just work. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this because I can never remember. Oh, what the heck? Okay. Now we just sudo u postgres psql, and we just change the password. All right, and we can quit. So now that's working, and we'll do the rest of the stuff later. But Postgres is up and running. And the other thing we have to do, and we almost always have to do this, okay, is Postgres. No, we don't want that. pghba.conf. And what we want to find here is all pure. So what we want to do is change this to MD5. That way it can connect to the port. So there we go. So there's how you set up your database. And yeah, that was kind of backwards, and I'm actually going to see if there's a better way to do it. But as of now, let's look at something here real quick. Let's exit because I want to look at something here. So let's look at this libpg dev. So if we apt-cache show, we are looking for so if we do sudo apt-get update, get upgrade shouldn't break anything. No, it doesn't. Okay, so that's how you install Postgres. Now, that should keep it up to date, because what's going to happen is the version on the backports is going to be greater than the version of the stable, so it should update. So there's the database. So next we'll install. I think we'll install Memcached next. So I see you guys in a little bit. Okay, welcome to part 4 of this video. We're going to be installing Memcached actually. But first I wanted to show you something. I was having problems with this command, if you remember, at the end of the last section. Right. Well, that's because this line was set up incorrectly. This part right here in parentheses tells sudo what user you can run as. So now if we do this, which is debug, I can run as all users, and I have no password. I also added that I would always use vim. That way, it stops annoying me. All right. So now if we do an apt-cache show memcached, and we come up here, you'll see that it's 1.4.51. So let's sudo apt-get install memcached, because that's a good enough version for what we need. Oops. You can see Memcached is running. Now, we are going to make some changes here. We're going to change this to 128 megs. We're listening on 127, that's fine. And everything else looks fine. Okay, so there we go. I don't need to run that, but okay. So Memcached is running, as you can see. Oh, no, actually, we got to sudo etc init memcached restart. And now if we do that, we can see can use up to. Let's just look at it free -m. We're still doing pretty good. So basically, it can use 128 megs. It's not necessarily going to use 128 megs. It can grow to that size, but it doesn't start out doing it. So that's it for that one. Quick, short, easy section. Isn't it? It's always kind of nice. Next, we're going to set up, I think, Redis. So I will see you guys then. Okay, and welcome to the other part 4. There's 2 part 4s, apparently. I screwed up, goofed up, and said that last one was part 4. So this is Redis. So Redis, guess what? They have a backports for it, which is fine by me. So there you go. Now, let's see, where's Redis? Etc. Redis, redis.conf. Daemon yes, PID file, port 63, bind, that's fine, timeout is fine. What I want to do is let's see, I want to find the memory usage here and change it up. That's fine. All that's fine. Yeah, it will dump, but it's not really designed for that. You really don't want that. And this is going to bind to 127, so we don't need to worry about I'm not going to worry about max memory because I don't think it's ever going to get that big. Because we don't really worry. And all this is pretty much sensible. Alright, let's just quit. There we go. Let's look at our hem again here. We're still doing good. And if we ls etc init you will see Redis right there, Redis server. All right, so there's Redis. Pretty simple. Yeah, very simple. No downloading, no compiling, and hopefully that stays up to date. So there we go. We now have Redis running, and I think, let's see, what's left? What do we have left to set up? Well, we're going to end up using Sphinx, so I think having Sphinx D on will be good. So we'll do Sphinx D. Then we'll set up our Rails deployment strategy, which is going to be passenger. And I think then we'll just start hardening the box down. So, all right, guys, I will see you in part 5, where we're going to set up Sphinx D. All right, guys, so I will see you in a few. All right, welcome to part 5, installing Sphinx. So Sphinx is an open source full text search engine, and I'm going to be using it with Thinking Sphinx for my personal site, not necessarily for anything else, but my personal site. And you really just need to make sure that Sphinx exists, because Thinking Sphinx spawns up the server as it needs it. But, see, the thing is, the version that it comes with Debian, and I'll show you, actually it's right here, is 0.9.9-6. Okay, it's 0.9.9. If you look at the release, it's 205. It's it's a bit out of date. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just download it. It's not that hard to download. You just hit download on the source tarball here. and it'll ask you, but I'm accept the GPL version 2. So what we're going to do with this, we're going to go ahead and copy this. Alright, and we are going to change directly back to home source here again, and we're going to wget this particular. No, I wanted to copy the URL. What? Copy link address. That should be default, I think. And Sphinx is really, wow, what am I doing? /configure and make and sudo make install. Oh, yes. I actually don't want to do it that way. I want to do without MySQL with Postgresql. /config help. I just did this not too long ago. /configure help less. With PGSQL, so. Because that's what we're going to be working with. And we don't want it to try to install MySQL. Make and sudo make install. And you'll see it's using that user include. It's actually grabbing Postgres, as you can see. Now I have a little bit of lag running here, so this is actually compiling, but I'm lagging out a little bit. There it goes. So now if we go to thinking Sphinx, which is what we're going to be using, and we do deployment. Basically, all you do is make install it. That's it. That's all you have to do. As long as the searchd is available, it'll just grab it. And you don't have to do any installation. And while that's working, I'm going to switch here to we'll do that today. And there we go. Now if we do rehash here. Oh, there's searchd. Yeah, okay. So there you go. So that's it for that. So we've got Sphinx installed. It's not running because it's not needed, but it is there installed. Now, next step, 6, we're going to get Passenger installed. But we're going to do, as I said, we're going to do the Enterprise Passenger. So I will see you guys part 6 when we start install Passenger. Later, guys. All right, hello and welcome to part. Well, whatever part we're on, I don't remember. Okay, we're going to be installing Fusion Passenger Enterprise. Now, I don't know if I talked about it, but the big reason I paid for a license, is for the rolling restarts. And I think I talked about this. But anyway, as I said, maybe I didn't. So rolling restarts, if you, well, you can look over the enterprise stuff. But the rolling restarts and the error-resistant deploys are kind of cool. Mass deployment's only good in local. So now I had to download special files, and I actually did this off screen so you didn't see my license keys. Because I don't want you seeing my license key. So we're gonna go ahead and follow the directions, shall we? So let's clear this up. Sudo gem uninstall passenger. We're gonna get rid of the old passenger gem. And now we gotta we're going to have to SCP this up. So the way to do that is we go SCP downloads. Yeah, it's fine. I think it's passenger server gem, and we're going to take that up to web1.thattechcompany.com : that'll just upload it directly to my home folder. And we'll do the same thing with my license file. That way those are both up there. Now we just do sudo gem install passenger enterprise server 3.90 gem. And we'll let it do that. So now we have the enterprise server, and now we need to sudo copy passenger license to etc passenger enterprise license. Let's make sure that that's correct. Yep. All right. Now we're going to run sudo passenger install Nginx module. Alright, so now we'll press enter. Now we don't have the curl development headers. So all we have to do is sudo apt-get install. We'll use the libcurl OpenSSL dev. I do not know the difference, but I just use that. So go ahead and do that. Now we will rerun this command. Yes, download compile. I will have it. Oops, not 21. So what it's going to do is it's going to download and compile. We'll go. Well, so I have an example in D, and they have it going to opt Nginx sbin, which is fine. We'll leave it that way. Now, what this is doing at this very moment is building Nginx, and it's building it. And then what it will do once it's done is it will build the passenger modules for Nginx. And in fact, that's what it's doing right now. Is it's building the module, the Nginx module right now for passenger, which is it works. Passenger is a module for either Apache or Nginx. And I prefer Nginx because it's a little bit lighter weight than Apache. It's a little simpler too. Not as ugly, nasty, and as painful as it is. Not as painful as Apache sometimes. And I've been using Nginx for so long that I forgot most of Apache's commands, so I can still restart it, but I can't really. Or I might find the configuration for you. Alright, so now if we ls etc initd, I don't think it gave me an Nginx. No, it did not. So I just have to grab this. Sudo vim etc initd Nginx. Sudo change mod plus x etc initd Nginx, and let's see if this actually works. Actually, this is and this. What is it? I can never remember this command. Sudo update rc.d nginx defaults. And now if we do etc initd, oops, sudo etc initd nginx start psaux grep nginx, and we've got it working. So now if we go to, theoretically, web1.techcompany.com, welcome to Nginx. It's working. Now if we go to opt Nginx, and yeah, I sound surprised, and I am a little bit surprised. Nginx config. We've got the, yeah, okay, that's fine. And all this is fine. I mean, I'm not going to really touch much of this. I am going to make this a little bit more like, you know what, I may not. I may just do some includings. Well, but anyway, what's important is it's up and it's running, and it's got passenger route running too. It's got passenger, as you can see. So there we go. Pretty simple, not that hard to work with. So that's it for Nginx. Now, what I'm going to do, the next part is going to be just kind of tightening things down and cleaning things up. So in between, I'm going to go ahead and reboot this whole thing just to kind of clear out some of the memory. So I will see you guys, next part when we kind of lock this down a little bit. I'll see you guys later. Welcome to the final section of this video. We're going to be hardening the box, but also I forgot to configure passenger a little bit. So I figured I take this I would do this here too and show you how to read the documentation. So spawn method defaults to what I want, which is SmartL v2. So we want rolling restarts, and we want this to be on. So basically, it'll tell you, okay, you can put it in. So what you want to do is, okay, so it takes on or off, and here's where you can do it. You can do HTTP, you can do it in a server, a location, or an if configuration scope. So because we want this default, I'll show you. All right. Opt Nginx config. So we can go up in here actually and just include it right here. So what we want is to put passenger rolling restarts on. And what I'm going to do in between each one of these invalid number of arguments. Oops. Okay. So that's the rolling restarts. Now we want this resist deployment errors. It's defaults to off, and it can also be an HTTP HTTP configuration block. So let's go ahead and do that. And as you can see, you always have to include the semicolon. What this will do is it'll try to start up an instance, and if it doesn't start, instead of erroring out everywhere, it'll stop. It'll kill the bad instance and lock all the other instances so they do not shut down. Because normally Passenger will shut down and restart if you need it. So there's that. And the other thing I wanted to look for is I want to make a kind of global, let's see, passenger max pool size. Maximum number that may simultaneously exist. A large number results in higher memory usage but improved optimal. Recommended 15. But generally speaking, the value should be at least equal to the number of CPUs that you have. If your system is 2 gigs, then we recommend a value 15. The default value is 6. So the number of application processes that may simultaneously exist. A large number results in. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set that at a 15. And it can only exist in the HTTP configuration. So we'll make this 15 because we have that much RAM. Okay, so that's how many application processes that may actually exist. And we're going to do passenger min instances because I really don't think we're going to hit a lot. We're going to keep 1 around. And at this point, because I'm thinking 3 applications are going to be on here, we'll do max instances of 5. That way they each get their equal number. Let's see. Okay, and everything else is fine. So let's just make sure that that's okay. And we'll just quickly restart this. And I don't think there should be any passenger. No, okay. Alright, so now really all that's left is to kind of harden down the box a little bit. And normally what I would do is modify a lot of stuff in here, including permitting the root log and turning that off. But I'm not going to do that here because otherwise, if I lose a key, I have no way to get here. But what I'm going to do, it's already got used to yes, no. So we're just going to leave this pretty much as is. What we are going to do though is grab a just grab we'll just grab etch, and there is a I always use it. This file right here, I always grab this. And I just use it because it's a good base and it works. What's that test? IP tables.up.rules. And we'll just paste that in. And we'll make sure what we want to do is in this. There. I think that's it. 8044.3. Yep, that's it. Now we're going to go ahead and go sudo IP tables restore to etc IP tables sudo IP tables -l. Now it's very important at this point to test this. Make sure you can get in. Because you can lock yourself out, and then you're kind of SOL, because unless you have a KVM or a way to get to the console, you're screwed. But I can get in, which is fine. So that's it for that. So now we need to set our network interfaces. IP tables up rules. Yep, that's good. Okay, so that'll just reboot. That'll just bring them right up. Alright, so that's it for that. Now, see, is there anything else? Oh, let me test this still. Yep, and let's test. I use DNS simple, which actually does redirects automatically. And so let's see. Is there anything else I need to do? Just thinking. It's just thinking. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I can't think of what. Yeah, I just keep thinking I'm forgetting to install something, but I don't think there's anything else I really need to do. Let's see. Wow, you have to give me a second here, because I'm trying to think. I keep thinking I'm forgetting something, but I don't think I am. Oh, yeah, there's one other thing I want to install. This is what I want to install. Yeah, it's going to install a bunch of MySQL stuff. There. There we go. That should be it. So now we should be able to mail out. That's really all I needed to do. Alright, so that's about it. That was just a quick... nobody can access that, and there's nobody going to be accessing it. Basically, that's just there for sending mail, out. So, which I really do without using a service. So that's it. So there you go. That's a completely set up Rails server using Ruby Enterprise Edition, Passenger Enterprise Edition for serving Rails applications on Nginx. There's Sphinx in there for search. There's Redis. There's for background tasks. There's Memcached for, well, caching memory. Yeah, that's it. That's all you need to do. Well, at least that's all I do. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll see you guys later.